Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Nelson coming to you from Central Florida. And please put in the chat where you're watching from. Where are you located, Alia?
I'm in the coffee region, Colombia.
In Colombia. And Dr. Kiltz will probably not be here, although he might pop up at some point.
I think he got home at like 2 a.m. ish.
Yeah.
And he usually gets up at 3 a.m. So I don't think, I hope he's sleeping.
So good morning, everyone. And we're supposed to have a guest. It hasn't arrived. We'll see if he comes at some point. But hashtag KMT for a chance for what? Alia, t-shirt?
Yeah, let's do a Kiltz Cup.
Kiltz Cup? Okay.
Yeah, this morning you get a Kiltz Cup. And I know we have some, so that's why I'm offering one.
All right.
I just want to let people know that we have our events figured out for this year. We have all the events working out. We're gonna do Tampa, a Kiltz Mighty Tribe meetup in Tampa on the 2nd of February. Someone brought up, you guys just did one in Tampa.
The 7th.
Yeah, the 7th of February. Thank you. The 7th of February. I'm so bad with dates. 7th of February, Tampa. We didn't really just do a meetup in Tampa. We just had dinner at somebody else's meetup called Hack Your Health. So we're doing our own meetup. Dr. Vadia is speaking. Diane Ladd is speaking. Dr. Nelson, of course, is speaking with Dr. Kiltz. And then there's a few other people. Richard Smith is actually coming from the UK to speak at this event. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to do another event in Syracuse, May. Oh my gosh, I put my calendar underneath my laptop to lift up my laptop. Give me a second. I think it's May 25th, but I just want to make sure it's on a Saturday. I need to work out the date at the location in Syracuse, but I did figure out I do have the payment already worked out. So May 23rd in Syracuse, New York. That'll be the second Kiltz Mighty Tribe meetup in 2026. And then there's going to be one in Chicago in July. And the reason for that is Dr. Kiltz is going to be speaking at the Midwest Reproductive Symposium, and CNY is going to have a booth there. So the day before, on the Saturday before that starts, I'm doing a meetup so everyone can meet him in the Chicagoland and Midwestern area. Because people are wondering, why can't we do it in Vancouver? Or why can't we do it here? I'm trying to set them up where I know Dr. Kiltz is already going to be. So there you go. There you go. I just wanted to tell everybody where we can meet in the next year.
All right. So this morning, if we don't get a guest, we have an open mic question and answer. If you want to put your questions in the chat, if you want to come up on the stage and talk about any specific thing for a few minutes, we can put the link in the chat. Okay.
I will do that in a second.
And now, some people have been talking about a meetup in Long Island, New York. Is that
people can have meetups? I'm just saying the ones that I'm putting together for Dr. Kiltz, these are the ones. If you're in Long Island, get your butt up to Syracuse. It's probably only like a 2-hour trip. Maybe longer. Maybe longer.
I think it's more than 2 hours. I don't know. Lois can tell us.
Louis can tell us.
Yes. And Louis, we lost Brandon Nemo.
What?
Anyways.
He understands.
Baseball topic.
Oh, okay.
All right. So if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat. And we can talk about it.
Okay, well, nobody has any questions, I guess. I'll put the link here. I'm gonna put the link into the chat, which could be kind of dangerous. Let's see.
Well, we always have control on who you bring up on stage. So
That's true.
all right, so we have several coaches that are here this morning. I'd like to ask the coaches some questions.
Sure.
So I don't know who.
And here's a question for you. The link is getting in the chat, so people are welcome to jump in. This is for you, Dr. Nelson.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to tell you it's 894 days.
Wow. How many, like, but when was your start date? Like, what was the actual date?
29th of June. Very close. I think Ribeye Ranger. What's his wife's name? Lynn Tucker. Ribeye Ranger started the day before I started, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So June 29th, 2023. And I believe that's 894. So Kerry Mann has been carnivore for 995 days. 5 days he'll hit 1,000.
That's crazy. And he's like so strict. He never cheats on anything. I don't even think he eats cheese. But if you talk to Kerry, you understand why.
I believe they're on a cruise right now. All right. So
there is
we don't have any other questions. I'd like to ask questions to someone if someone wants to come up here.
Oh, here's another one. Oh, Lewis is 996. Papa says, is there not a guest today? We don't know what happened. We did have a guest, but we don't know where it is. Dr. Nelson, have you tried only eggs in a day, and how many eggs have you eaten? If so, I'll answer this question also.
No, I have not tried to eat only eggs, but when I do have eggs, I usually have anywhere from 3 to 6 eggs, depending on how I'm having them. Usually pan fried, or that's the most common way. But sometimes I make a sort of an omelette or scrambled. And nice. Lois is 996 days. That means Kerry started the day before you, Lois.
Yeah, for some reason, YouTube was pushing out a lot of carnivore content at the same time. We all kind of started around the same time.
How about you, Alia? How about the egg question?
That question on the eggs, yes, I've tried that once, and I was so hungry because eggs don't make me full at all. I ate 17 eggs that day. I counted them, which is approximately. Oh, and no wonder I was hungry because I just checked the calories on that. It's 66 calories perhaps on a medium-sized egg. 1,100 calories that day. I was starving. I had some butter in there, but to cook the eggs in.
Yeah,
I don't know how people
usually
do these egg
use
fasts.
70s. It's an easier number to remember, and it really depends on the size of the egg. But
yeah,
chicken eggs, about 70.
Those are chicken eggs. And someone asked if I'm carnivore, and yes, I am. And I started March 1st, 2023, and I was going strong for a really long time, and then I fell off recently, and I'm paying the price. So don't fall off. Don't give yourself an excuse. Your body will pay the price, and it's much easier. I realize it's much easier for me to eat no carbs than even try to be like keto. I can't be. It's very hard for me. Once any carbohydrates makes me want to eat more carbohydrates, even if they're like healthier carbohydrates. Does that make sense, Dr. Nelson? why that would be. Because I'm a carb addict. Because I grew up on potato chips and French fries. But no, I love carnivore because then I have no inkling or inclination to eat any carbohydrates.
It's the easiest
It's the
way.
easiest way to eat.
We all have some. I think we all have some degree of carb addiction. I don't like to use that word,
Right.
among other things that Dr. Kiltz doesn't like to label it. Uh, but I think if you want to avoid triggers, it reinforces. If you don't eat the carbs, then it's easier to handle
Yeah.
triggers, right?
Right. Including dairy for me, including dairy.
Yeah, I have cheese almost every day. I have a little bit of cheese.
Good for you.
Good morning, Larry.
Here's this
Good
next
morning,
question.
Papa Carnivore. We do have another question, right?
Yeah. Any idea why my mouth would be so dry? Would too much salt be the reason? Yes. It's been going on for a month.
It's possible. I don't know if you drink a lot of mineral carbonated water, like Topo Chico or anything like that. Sometimes that makes your mouth feel dry. Uh, and if you have too much salt at once, that might be also going on. So we haven't had any brave volunteers to come up.
That's okay. I need to know what link Lewis is talking about. I can pin a link. What link? What link should I pin at the top of the chat? I can do that.
I think he's talking
Let's
about the
see.
link to come up to the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Give me a second. Here we go. While I'm doing that, Just Eat Meat asked Dr. Nelson, I'd love your opinion on this. Does meat have sugar and is a bunch of visceral fat healthy for humans? LOL. Have a great day, guys. Smiley face.
So there is a small amount of carbohydrates in all living matter. The amounts are not the same as the amounts you would find in plants, right? So there are carbohydrates in even in red meat. It's very small amounts. So most of the time when you search, it'll say zero. But I've seen even doing a Google search for the amount of carbs in picanha, for example, or other, just taking that as an example. But I have seen the result with a little bit of carbohydrates included because there are always some. Who do we have here?
We got Papa. Okay, good. I thought I heard a TV in the background or something. Or maybe it was us in the background.
Good morning, Peter.
Hello, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. I just was seeing a lot of questions, good questions.
Yeah, there are a lot of good questions.
Someone
All right,
asked about, are there any healthy carbs?
Healthy carbs.
Let's see that one.
I would consider whatever the carbs are in eggs, beef, healthy carbs, if you would.
Right. I mean, what I would say is there are no essential carbs. There are some trace amount of carbs in carnivore foods, which are perfectly fine. But if you're talking about, the type of carbs in processed foods, grains, starchy like veg, like potatoes and things of that, rice and things of that sort, is a lot different than maybe like a piece of broccoli or something.
Mark is saying the link is not working. Sorry. I see your chat. I see your chat, Mark. Let me see. It should be working. Let me try again. People have been saying that any links being sent out from me are like dangerous. They're getting like things saying they're dangerous or not working. I don't know why.
Well, the
And
same.
I'd like to address the second part of this previous question, though.
Yeah.
Because just eat meat as and is a bunch of visceral fat healthy for humans? I think excessive visceral fat is probably not healthy. There is an association with inflammation and an associated risk occurring with a bunch of chronic conditions.
Well, and you've heard the term TOFI, right? Thin on the outside, fat on the inside.
Mhm.
I had a very good friend of mine who passed away. He was very thin, but he was a raging diabetic. And, on the inside, I'm sure he had a lot of visceral fat. And yeah, he passed away at age 56 and he was thin. I mean, he ate a quote unquote healthy, high carb diet, healthy fruits, vegetables, grains, low fat, all of that.
Do you feel that carnivore lifestyle is gaining momentum? What do you think, Galia?
I think so. I think a lot. Like, Ken Berry on the news talking to vegans on Fox. If we're on Fox News, it's gaining momentum. If New York Times is talking about us crazy right-winged testosterone-filled men with guns.
What do you think,
we're making
Peter?
momentum.
I don't know. I don't think I would use the word momentum. I think I would use the word, there's a raised level of interest, maybe, but I don't know that it's so much in a positive way. I think a lot of the news stories that talk about carnivore kind of bring it up as a fringe kind of, I don't know. There's more interest in it, I would say.
Yeah. I don't know if I can gauge it by just the content that comes up to me, because I'm so involved with carnivore. So the algorithm may be feeding me what I want, and I don't know if it's really gaining momentum. There are probably other ways to statistically make those conclusions. Well, thank you, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Thank you, Mark, for
Hi,
being
guys.
here. Thank you, Peter. We have Coach Mark here, and we'll ask him a few questions. Okay.
Bye.
How are we getting on, guys? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Good stuff.
Here.
Good stuff. Nice
Mark,
to see
why
you
don't you
again.
do your elevator pitch of who you are?
Who I am?
Yeah, what you do.
Yeah, some
Okay.
people, there might be some new people here. Not everybody here might know who you are. So if you
Okay.
would.
Well, I've been a carnivore coach for over 5 years. I've worked with over 200 women at this stage. I specialize in fertility, endometriosis, fibromyalgia, obesity. So yeah, that's basically what I do at the moment. Food
All
addiction,
right.
that kind of stuff.
And most of your clients are in the States, correct?
I'd say about 90% of them in the States at the moment. Yeah, I don't get that many in my country.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good for us. I mean, I'm not in the States either, but that's
Well,
good
I'm
in the States.
I'm heading over to Florida now next week to meet up with a few people. I'm actually going for the Christmas period. I'm going for 3 weeks. And I'm actually gonna meet one or two of my clients over there.
Maybe.
Why
if I
do
have
you
time,
think
maybe
that
we
it?
do a podcast with Dr. Kiltz in his time? Maybe.
Absolutely.
That'd be.
Sorry, Dr. Nelson, what were you saying to me?
Yes, I was gonna ask. Why do you think that is 90% from the States, maybe 10% from your side of the world.
I think
Why do you
because
think?
I think because we haven't learned our lesson yet. So I think a lot. I'm doing my best in this country, but there's only a few of us here. I've had the conversation with many people over here, but they don't want to listen. That's the reason why I always chose my name, Fitness Beyond Time. I never wanted to be called Keto Mark or Carnivore Mark because of that reason. But we're getting there. I mean, I'm determined on having my own conference next year. We're working really hard to set it up in this country. And we were meant to do it at the end of this year, but we didn't get the numbers. But I'm really determined. There's a few of us that are trying really hard to set it up now next year. I think once we get one done, then we can probably do another 3 or 4 good events. So that's my goal for that's my goal for 2026 to set up a conference in this country.
So
Nice.
Alia worked with him to get a date for
Sure. I mean, Dr.
is that
Kiltz is going to be there in June. He's going to be at the Great UK meetup in June. So.
yeah, but now that he's coming to Florida is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Sure.
He's gonna be in Florida this month or next month.
What month are we
He's
in?
in Florida.
December. He'll be. I think. I don't know where he is. He should be in Florida through Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll-
yeah.
we'll-
Send me
we'll work
send me
on
an
that.
email. And
Sure.
when is he going to be in the UK?
June. He was just there yesterday, by the way, for 10 entire hours.
Right.
And now
Well,
he's back.
Well, that's
but
only across the pond from me, so I'm pretty sure I could set that up as well.
yeah. But he
All
usually
right.
has Fridays to do some podcasting. So we'll talk about that after this. Oh,
So-
Mark, where are you from?
I'm from Dublin, Ireland. Do you not notice the accent?
No.
I'm not very good at differentiating the accents.
Yeah, I'm from a small country called Ireland.
Let's get
Mark,
some
I have a
questions
question
here.
to start you off here. And
Go.
we have other questions. We can put them up for him, even though they were asked for maybe me. But what is the single biggest mistake people make in their first 30 days of going carnivore? And
Jumping
how
straight.
can they avoid it?
I think the first thing is they jump straight into it. They think it's this quick fix. They think they're going to get these magical results. Doesn't happen that way. We all know that. It takes a little bit of time, but this is the biggest problem I see with people going straight into keto or carnivore. They just think it's a magical fix. They think they can eat whatever they want, and they're going to magically lose weight. This is what we're currently seeing at the moment. With a lot of people going from carnivore and they're adding the carbohydrates back in because they're struggling to lose weight. This is what we've been told. So that's what I see at the moment, and it's very frustrating for me because there's so many directions now when it comes to carnivore. Some people are saying you can do carnivore with carbohydrates. Some people are saying you can't do carnivore without carbohydrates, and so many people are getting confused. And there's a lot of people that I used to look up in the carnivore space. A lot of people, and I've had to block these people because the information that they're giving out is absolutely rubbish. And it's really frustrating because, as I said, these people I used to look up to. I've never had not one person in my 5 years that has ever come to me and has ever struggled to lose weight on the carnivore diet, ever.
And when they stall, a lot of people change diets, whatever the diet is, by the way. You may lose weight and then you stall. In carnivore, you hear the stories, and it can happen after 30 pounds or 100 pounds, and then you may hit a stall. And I'm not talking about, oh my God, I haven't lost weight in 7 days. No, I'm talking about months or even years. What is your advice? I mean, you do need to have specific questions for specific people, but in general, what is the most likely thing that's happening, and what can they do about it?
Well, first of all, they need to learn what insulin is. Insulin is what controls weight loss and fat loss. The only way you're going to remove body fat from your body is to control insulin. That's the only way. And at the moment, a lot of people are They live through this carb lifestyle. They don't understand that they're addicted to food. They can't understand why they can't stick to a diet, and it's because they're addicted to certain foods. And this is where it all comes down to carbohydrates. The more carbohydrates that you have in the diet, the more blood sugar you're going to have in your body, and this is going to make the diet very, very hard. So when someone wants to lose weight, I say to them, okay, you need to flip that around. You need to focus on your health first, and the weight will come off naturally. I don't like when people come to me and say, okay, I'm coming to see you because I want to lose the weight. We all know we can lose weight. We can lose weight on any diet. We can eat McDonald's 7 days a week if you want to, and you'll still lose the weight, but it's not going to be healthy. So that's not what I do. I just focus on people's health. I get them feeling really, really good about themselves. I optimize their hormones the right way, and the weight just comes naturally off. And then if there's a stage where the weight is not coming off, well, then it's just a matter of just looking at the macros, and it's mostly coming from fats. So if the fats are too high, I'm going to bring the fats down. I'm going to up the protein. That's when you'll see the weight loss come up even faster. I'm seeing this a lot with women at the moment. I had a woman there a few months ago that we were doing everything right. She was on the carnivore diet. She was on it for about 3 months. She was on a high fat diet. We got her hormones back to functioning the way they should be. But all of a sudden, then things stalled. She wasn't losing any more weight. So that's when I brought the fats down to minimal. I think she's on about 50 grams a day or something like that at the moment. But I upped her protein, and all of a sudden now she's losing more weight. So I'm never going to be one of those people that's ever going to add in more carbohydrates to lose weight. I'm never going to be one of those people that I need to count calories to lose weight. I don't believe in counting calories. I think calories is the wrong thing you should be focusing on. You should be focusing on macros. And the 2 macros you should be focusing on is protein and fats. That's it. If one is not working, well, then you focus on the other macronutrient, and that's it. And just see what suits these people. But it's not just down to nutrition. And if it was down to just nutrition, everybody would be doing it. You need to factor in lifestyle as well. And this is where we talk about cortisol. This is where we talk about training. And if you have poor sleep, this can impact cortisol. I'm hearing an awful lot at the moment about oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is the reason why most people can't lose weight. But you need to understand where the oxidative stress is coming from. So if you have a bad diet, you're going to get the stress from that. If you're going to the gym on a regular basis and you're overtraining, you're going to get stressed from that. If you have a poor lifestyle, again, same thing. If you're on your phone all the time, if you're sitting at home all the time, if you're watching TV all the time, if you have like a cranky boyfriend or a cranky girlfriend, that can cause stress as well. So when you look at the average person, what they do on a daily basis, what do? They wake up first thing in the morning, they hear their alarm, they panic, they jump up out of bed, they're probably feeding the kids, straight away stress, straight away. Then they're probably going to the gym. They're going in and probably doing an hour cardio session, more stress. Coming out of that, they're probably starving themselves. They're going into a work environment, more stress. At this stage, they're probably starving. Come lunchtime, they're just binging on whatever. Then they're going back into another stressful environment. So they're not allowing their body to relax. And when you're stressed, guess what's happening to your blood sugars? Your blood sugars are going up here. So this is the reason we're getting these regular cravings, you're getting these regular hunger problems, and people don't understand why. But you can control all that. You're able to control the food that goes into your body. You control that. Nobody tells you how to put your food into your body. You're the one that controls that. When you look at the environment, when you're on your phone all day, are you able to control that situation? Of course you are. Stay off your phone. Are you able to get out and walk regularly? Of course you are. Walk. You know what I mean? If you're not able to walk on a daily basis, go park a little bit further away from your shop. Instead of taking the stairs, or instead of taking the elevator, take your stairs. So there's many things you can factor into your life that are 100% controllable. And the stuff that you can't control, you just let it go. But the stuff that you can control, you should be always on top of that. And you should start from what you put into your body. That's the number one thing you can focus on. And I can guarantee you, when you start feeling good, you'll be able to do so much more other stuff. Because that's where people are going wrong at the moment, I believe. Because you're eating poorly, you don't have the energy to get up and go for that walk. You don't have the energy to motivate yourself to go to the gym. Because I always say to people, it has nothing to do with motivation. It's about discipline. And it starts from feeding your body properly. And then when you start feeding your body properly, you're able to do more stuff then after that. Does that make sense?
Certainly, certainly. Uh, some people are following carnivore diet or very low carb diet, ketogenic diet for different reasons. Could be autoimmune diseases, could be cancer, could be neurological diseases. Uh, where do you fall on tracking ketone levels?
Well, you can do this with a CGM if you want to. I don't get people that using CGMs. I just go off how they feel. I know when people are in ketosis because usually I can see it in their facial expressions. I can feel it when they're talking to me. They're vibrant. They have so much energy. They're buzzing to get things done. So that's when I know people are in ketosis. So yeah, if they're really really struggling, I'll get them to use a CGM. I'll make sure that their blood sugars are low. And that way they'll know they're in ketosis. But yeah, for me, I always know straight away because I always ask them a simple question: how do you feel? And if they say to me, I feel fantastic, well then I know they're perfectly fine.
All right,
I
we have a
love
bunch
that
of questions,
simplicity.
Alia. Go ahead and
Yeah,
let's start taking them.
sure. Kathleen is asking what causes her feet to burn at night and tingle.
Your
Kathleen
feet to
Jones.
your feet to burn.
Yeah.
Again, I'd have to look at the diet. That's probably caused by inflammation. I'd have to look at what your diet is. I can't really tell you exactly, but sounds to me like you still have inflammation in your body. So yeah, I need to know more about the diet.
She's still here. Let's see.
Because usually that's a gout issue. And usually when people get tingles and stuff like that in your feet, it's usually down to inflammation.
Makes sense. Does Kiltz help sell carnivore DVDs? Great gifts for others. No, but that's an idea. There's definitely carnivore books.
We definitely have carnivore books, and you can always gift a free YouTube video to someone. Okay, so share when you find content that you like. Uh, share it with someone if it's appropriate. I
Yeah.
think that's a great way. Plus, if you have your own story, you're here. That means you have a YouTube channel. Okay, just to be here, you had to sign in with a YouTube account, which is a YouTube channel. Tell
I don't know how
your
many people
story.
have DVD players, anyways, anymore.
They're gone. They're gone. Long
All
time
right.
now.
Yeah.
Do you remember those days?
Oh my gosh. But there are books. KiltzHealth.com, drkiltz.com. Definitely you can get books. Let's see. Jonathan says YouTube University. Yep.
And it's free.
Let's see. Manix Gaming 69.49. I guess carbs can be only essential if there is no meat to eat. Oh, that's not a question.
I don't think so.
They're not essential in the sense that you can live without them. And the word essential, when used in respect to nutrition and micronutrients, means something you cannot live without.
Mm-hmm. You'll always find meat before you find carbohydrates if you're out in the wild. Always.
Yeah, that's true.
Next.
My sister-in-law, I just wanted to read this one. Oh, there is a question here. My sister-in-law wants to be carnivore, but she goes back to Missouri on Sunday. Is there a particular interview or video that she should see? She hasn't watched any. I want to learn her own. I think that there's a very good Ken Berry video that explains carnivore, like for the common man. It makes it seem very easy to do.
Kiltz Keto's carnivore book.
Yeah, that's great.
It's there's some information there on how to start. But since we have Mark here, what do you suggest Bacon Runner tells her sister-in-law?
I'd say go out and I'd say go onto YouTube. There's many carnivore videos out there. Learn as much as you possibly can. There's many podcasts also. You can go onto my podcast. I've interviewed over 70 people. Many of them are clients of mine that have started carnivore. They will tell you exactly how they started their journey. Most of these people would have went from a carb lifestyle straight not into carnivore. They've done it over a 3-month period. And this is something that I recommend. I never recommend that someone go straight into carnivore. I think you're better off doing it in phases. So what we do is we'll eliminate the processed food first of all. Then after that, then we'll eliminate the carbohydrates. Then a few weeks later, then we eliminate the vegetables. This is done over a 10 to 12 week period. And then eventually you'll go straight into carnivore. So that's how I would do it. I would do it in phases. Do it every 4 weeks. Eliminate the processed food first. Then 4 weeks later, the carbs. 4 weeks after that, the vegetables. And then you're straight into carnivore. Then it should be a lot easier.
What is the name of your channel, Mark?
The Carnivore Evolution and the Meat of the Matter.
There's two channels.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Is the Carnivore Evolution your podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see here. I know that this one's funny. I can look at through you in town that not a single one of y'all have ever hunted for your own meat. I need an answer to this question.
I go hunting all the time, except my hunting is going to the big boxes where they keep.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? Have you ever gone hunting?
No, but I would love to do it though. I would love to do it sometime. And I've always been one of those people that I would hate to see an animal get harmed. And I'm still that way. I don't want to see any animals getting harmed. But I know a few people that are. I know one of my friends lives in Arkansas, and he does it every week. And it's amazing because I used to watch these pictures on Facebook, and I was like, why would someone stand over a deer after shooting it? And I could never get my head around it years ago, but now I understand it more clearly now. It's a lot better for you. It's more organic. It's better than the food. It's better than most of the meats that we get in our shops nowadays. So, and I have tasted the difference, and it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Here you go.
Is this your channel?
That's the one. Myself and Victoria do that. We've been doing that now for the last year.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have. I think we're up to about 75 interviews at the moment, and we've interviewed. I'd say about 40 of them are clients of mine, and we've interviewed a few people all over the world as well. We had Stephen Thomas on. We had Malcolm Kendrick on, and we've had a few good guests on.
Nice.
I love Malcolm Kendrick's books.
We had Dave Mack on as well. He was only on recently.
Nice.
All right.
Well,
so there you have a place to go and search for a lot of carnivore information. And I am sorry I had not subscribed. I just did. I thought I was subscribed to you.
I think that's the most important thing. Just do your research. I mean, that's pretty much how I started. When I started 5 years ago, I came across Ken Berry and Dr. Kiltz, and I always said, if I'm actually going to get into this space, I need to understand exactly what I'm talking about. And that's what I did. For 8 months straight, I just researched these guys. I listened to testimonials, and it was mainly down to Dr. Kiltz, his information. That's the reason why I got into this space. And because I deal with an awful lot of women, as you know, Elliot, with fertility issues, and menopause. I know the female body better than I know the male body, to be honest. Because I've worked with so many women, I just know what I'm doing at this stage.
That's great. Let's see. Here we go. Karen McMath. Oh, go ahead, Dr. Nelson.
No, go ahead.
Okay. My son, 34 years old, no baseline labs, overweight, 50 pounds, glucose 89, A1C 5.2, insulin 14.8. Is he pre-diabetic?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Because
and I need to see his diet. Yeah, his weight. And is he type 1 or type 2?
That's a question.
His question. Okay. So the question is, with an A1C of 5.2 and a fasting glucose of 89, she's asking if her son is diabetic or pre-diabetic. Now, the insulin is high, the A1C is normal, the fasting glucose is normal. So this is what I would say. In my office, this patient does not fulfill the established criteria for prediabetes. But yes, if you were to plot the A1C, the insulin, the glucose, and all that, he is somewhere that if he doesn't change, is going to be ending up with the diagnosis of either
Yeah.
prediabetes or diabetes. And that's basically based on the fact that, yes, he's 50 pounds overweight and his insulin is probably twice as high as it should be.
Yeah, he's definitely heading there, 100%. Definitely, especially with his weight. If he's severely overweight, he's definitely heading in the right direction. And again, I'd have to find out what he is. He a type 1? Is he a type 2? And what does the diet look like?
Larry Ryan from Chicago says, Mark, I love your channel and your interviews. Thank you for what you do.
Thanks very much, Larry.
It's preventable and it's reversible.
Yes.
Just talking about the previous question. Next question.
Did you already say your story? Not your whole story. Mark, what's your story?
My carnivore story, I'll try and keep it as short as possible, but it all started when I was very, very young. I had an eating disorder for a very, very long time. I was abused in school. I was anorexic from a very, very young age. This started at around 13 years of age. Came out of it eventually. I was around 16, maybe 17 years of age. My parents taught me wanted me to learn a little bit about discipline. So they put me into a rugby school. Don't know if you guys know anything about rugby, but these guys are like big guys. Discipline is in their middle name, to be honest. But I was there for about 7 or 8 years. They taught me everything about lifting weights. I put on a lot of weight. When I finished my rugby career, I was around 280, 300 pounds. I was a big guy. Struggled with my mental health for a very, very long time. During that time, I was a fitness trainer. I was a PT. I worked in gyms. I could always lose the weight. I could always gain the weight very, very easily, but I could never stick to one particular goal. And I always had a bad relationship with food, always. That's the reason why I struggled with my eating habits. And I didn't realize I had a sugar addiction until I eliminated the carbohydrates. I fell into keto by accident because I just eliminated the carbohydrates. But again, it didn't fix my mental health. And I struggled with my mental health for a very, very long time. And I've mentioned this on many podcasts. I was suicidal on so many occasions. I told my missus many times I didn't want to be here. And then one day I came across this podcast, this carnivore podcast. It was a bodybuilder talking about it. Never heard of carnivore in my life. And the more he kept on talking about it, I was like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Doesn't make any sense. But the more I kept on listening to it, his story resonated with mine. So I said, right, after the podcast, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to go a week just eating red meat, salt, and water. That's all I'm going to have. Within 3 days, my mental health issues were gone. I had so much energy. I just felt absolutely incredible. So I did it for another week. Things got even better. And as I mentioned earlier, I said to myself, right, okay, if this is doing amazing things for me, then I need to teach this to the world. So that's when I went on my own journey. I studied this for about 8 months. And that's when I got into the carnivore space. And I have been carnivore now for, just over 5 years. I haven't eaten any carbohydrates at all in 5 years. I'm very, very strict carnivore. I'm pretty much on the lion diet at the moment. I very rarely eat eggs. Very, very rarely. It's just meat I'm eating at the moment. So I would say I'm pretty much 100% lion based at the moment.
Amazing.
Just to put things in perspective, you mentioned you hit 280 to 300 pounds. How tall are you?
5'3", about 160 centimeters, something like that.
So you look like a moose.
Yeah, I did when I put on a lot of weight. I look like a little Shrek. Yeah, I was carrying a lot. I couldn't even walk around. Every time I walked around, I was sweating. Every time I walked to the stairs, I was sweating. I was out of
How
breath.
do you play rugby like that?
Well, that's what I was a scrum half, so I had to be like a big guy. So I would have been in the ruck. I would have had a lot. I would have been very powerful. I was told that I wasn't allowed to do too much cardio. I had to just
Oh,
lift
wow.
weights and eat a lot of food, so they knew exactly what they were doing. So I wasn't moving that much at all. I was just like getting stronger, and I was eating like going back then. I don't know if we're going by calorie wise. I was probably eating around maybe 6,500 calories a day, and it was, I'd say,
Oh, wow.
mainly heavy carbohydrate based. So a lot of carbohydrates, lot of good carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates like oats, sweet potatoes, berries, fruits, lots of fruits. And then when we used to go out onto the pitch, we used to get like around maybe 300 milligrams of caffeine before we went out on the pitch. We were like animals. We were ready
Wow.
to destroy. We were like, honestly, we were ready. We were just ready to get into a fight. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm glad I got out of it because it's not good. It's not healthy.
Sure. Manic's gaming. I've noticed people get reddish skin with the diet. Thoughts on that?
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
I've actually heard people improve their skin being on this diet. I've interviewed many of them. We had a guy on our podcast a few weeks ago. No, it was a few months ago actually. Philip, he's actually in our carnivore community group. He dealt with eczema all his life. Went on the carnivore diet and everything's cleared up. And he's not the only one. I interviewed a guy that lives. You guys probably know him, Brandon. He lives in New Zealand. His video went global, everywhere. I had him on my podcast years ago. I spoke to him. I actually met him in person as well. And his skin was really bad, like really bad. And now he's doing talks all over Australia and New Zealand at the moment, and he looks amazing. So I haven't heard it. That's the one. Sorry, yeah, Bradley. Yeah, Bradley. Yeah.
I wonder if the question has to do with someone who may have some histamine issues.
Oh,
that's different.
Because otherwise, eczema, psoriasis, like this commonly improve with carnivore. Eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. There's most of the time there's improvement. So I wonder.
Well, when it comes to a histamine, because I'm actually dealing with a 16-year-old at the moment that's gone through this. Her mother reached out to me around 4 weeks ago, and she noticed that her daughter was getting all these rashes all over her body, and they were very itchy. And she was asking me, do I work with 16-year-olds? And I was like, no, I don't usually work with them, but I'll work with your daughter. And we eliminated the processed food, we eliminated the carbohydrates, until we got her down to carnivore within a couple of weeks later. And I was noticing that she was still having these rashes on her skin. So all I did was I just changed the meat. I changed the meat from beef to lamb. And within 2 weeks, things start improving very quickly. I also she was into the gym, and she was into these intensity classes, like these spinning classes and these circuit classes. And I noticed that when she sweats really badly, that has an impact on her skin as well. This actually flares her skin. So we actually had to pull that. We had to stop her from doing that for a couple of weeks, and then we'll reintroduce it. But yeah, ever since I put her on lamb, and I have her on a few organ meats as well, and we changed her. She was eating a lot of dairy, so now I have her on eating a lot of beef tallow. Things have improved very quickly, very quickly.
Very good.
That's great.
Next question.
Naps? Question mark.
Naps.
No naps for me. I don't have time for naps. What about naps?
Haven't had a nap in a long time. What about you guys?
I think I was nursing the last time I had a nap, because nursing will do that. When you're nursing a baby, it'll just fall asleep.
Just by the handle, it says grab Grandma's Crochet Corner. So if Dr. Kilt's opinion, if you feel like taking a nap, take a little nap. That's going to help you feel better.
Let's see. Jeff Sullivan, what can be done about waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to get back to sleep? I've been carnivore for 5 months now.
I would look at your eating window. Are you eating close to bedtime? That's mainly a big one. So that's the first thing I would say. I would also say, are you having much salt before you go to bed? That's another one that can actually also disturb your sleep. Are you looking at your phone before you go to bed? That can also impact your sleep. It depends. There's so many factors. Are you training before you go to bed? Are you stressed before you go to bed? Are you anxious before you go to bed? Yeah, there's a few things that you could look at.
There you go. Bride Biscuit. She was mentioning healing mental health and getting off medications, and she just listed all of these off: Seroquel, Abilify, Zyprexa, Prozac, gabapentin, Visceral, Lexapro over the past 2 years. That's amazing.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah,
Very
amazing.
good.
You should. Yeah, amazing. Well done.
Let's see. Shaylar, have been carnivore since August 22, but from July 2025, my weight has dropped from 120 to 85 pounds. I have the same food, eggs, and an ounce of fish a week. I'm wondering if she's saying that's a problem because it's very tiny, but I don't know how.
Well,
Yeah, I don't see
85 pounds.
It's very, very small, right? It's
Depends on her height. What height is she?
yeah. What's your height? And are you worried about it?
Yeah, if she's a very, very small woman, then I wouldn't say 85 pounds is that bad. So it depends. Like if she's under 5 foot, then there's not an issue. If she's over, like, say 6 foot, then there's a problem there.
Sure. Let us know, and we'll get back to that. Okay, so Karen, she says her son, hyperinsulin or insulin resistant or both. He currently eats SAD diet, overeats carbs.
So was it hyperglycemia? Is he going through hyperglycemia? Again, is he type 1 or type 2?
She put the numbers of the labs before, the same person she's talking about.
Okay, it's the same person.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yes. Okay. This is interesting. Hyperinsulin or insulin resistant. Well, if you listen to Dr. Ben Bigman, they are the different sides of the same coin, basically. Okay. But yes, the insulin is on the higher side, and he's insulin resistant most likely.
Yeah, he's always going to have a problem if he's overeating on carbohydrates. There's the problem right there. That's something that needs to be looked after. And again, if he struggles with carbohydrates, I wouldn't eliminate them full stop. I'd do it over a period of time.
I'm just messing up everybody today on their gender. I'm a man, 5'5".
Yeah, so 86 pounds. That would be quite low. Yeah, it's quite low.
So what should he do?
Again, I'd have to look at the macros. I'd have to see what macros she's on and what is she currently doing. I need more information. Like, is she training at the moment? Is she doing too much cardio? Like, again, I'd need to see, the first thing I would look at is your macros and ask you the question, are you tracking your macros? I think people need to understand is this: when you lose the weight, that's the first part done. I don't think people understand the importance of a reverse diet. This is what really frustrates me about the industry at the moment. So many women will lose the weight and they're convinced that the job is done. But the thing is, you can't stay at that weight for the rest. You can't stay at that weight for the rest of your life. You can't stay on that amount of food for the rest of your life. That's why you need to come out of it and you need to be able to do a reverse diet. Because at the end of the day, if you're putting on more muscle and your body's getting better over time, then you need to be able to fuel your body at those appropriate times. You're not meant to be in a deficit for the rest of your life.
Let's see here. Brian Dish. Mark, how would you tell if fasting insulin of 14.5 if they are type 1 or type 2?
How would you say that again?
How would you tell if fasting insulin of 14.5 if they're type 1 or type 2? I guess they're asking how can you tell type 1 or type 2 with that fasting insulin?
Well, type 1, they're pretty much, type 1 and type 2s are pretty much the same, but we know with type 1s that they need insulin. They rely on insulin, whereas type 2s, they don't need to rely on insulin. We can actually put type 2 into remission. We can actually reverse it very, very easily. So it depends. Type 1s, we know that can be controlled, and we don't need much insulin. We only know we need more insulin if we're eating more carbohydrates. So you'd want to be bringing the carbohydrates down so you can actually limit the amount of insulin you're taking in on a daily basis. And then with type 2s, if you just eliminate the carbohydrates full stop, then as I said, you can pretty much put that into remission very, very quickly.
Great. Let's see here. I think there's one more question. First, Dr. Kiltz just texted me saying, hello, everybody. He's getting ready to go to surgery. There you go. Thoughts about taking extra glycine and NAC?
No idea what this is.
Those are supplements. What is your stand regarding supplementation?
Well, for me, if you're taking supplementation and your diet is poor, well then you're focusing on the wrong problem. I have no problem taking supplements as long as your diet is working in perfect order. For example, there's a few supplements that I would recommend. Something like vitamin D. We don't get enough sunshine in this country. Creatine is another one. A lot of people like taking creatine. There are many, many benefits of taking creatine also. So there are a few supplements that I would recommend. I would also recommend some vitamin C. Vitamin C can be very, very beneficial on the carnivore diet as well. Magnesium is a big one. Magnesium is amazing for women. So I would highly recommend magnesium. So, but again, I wouldn't recommend any supplementation unless the diet's working in perfect order, first of all, because you'll never be able to work in them.
You're not doing yourself any favors with taking supplements if you haven't fixed the diet.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to do the giveaway.
Giveaway, yes.
So today we're giving away a Kiltz Cup.
Hashtag KMT. If you have not put it in, if you put it before the live stream started, it doesn't count because the tool doesn't pick it up. So
Mike Selly, cool. Congratulations. Please email me with your address and we will get you your Kiltz Cup. Maybe you already have one, so you'll have a collection. There you go.
All right. So what is the best place for anyone to find you if they wanted to work with you, Mark?
Okay, so I'm on social media at Fitness Beyond Time 01. You guys can follow my podcast. They're called The Carnivore Evolution and The Meat of the Matter. And if you want to get in direct contact with me, send me an email at ennismark93@gmail.com.
All right. So here on your YouTube channel, I see Mark Ennis Health Coaching, and there is Fitness Beyond Time. Is that?
Yep, that's the one. And and I noticed a few weeks ago as well, if you just type in Carnivore Coaches Dublin, guess whose name comes out first?
Okay.
Mark.
My name comes up first, which is amazing. So.
All righty. Well, Mark, thank you for being here this morning.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. Thank you.
I'll speak to you very soon.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you.
At 3 p.m., we have Dr. Rothschild talking about red light therapy.
Correct.
And then at 5:30 in the Zoom call, we have Coach Stephen
Richard Smith.
Richard Smith. Okay.
Nice. Nice.
They get confused, Stephen and Richard and Mark. All those guys from the UK, same thing. No.
All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.